back to another Math Notes video. We're in section 3.3.3, method for solving one variable equations. I have the music turned off during this video in case you loved the last introduction video. Anyway, here we go. There are three different methods you can use to solve one variable equations that we're going to talk about today. There are more methods than this. The first one we're going to look at is rewriting. That's using algebraic techniques to rewrite the equation. This will often involve using the distributive property to get rid of parentheses. Then solve the equation using solution methods you know. Alright, so here we have an equation. Let me use the highlighter here. 5 times the quantity x minus 1 equals 15. So we're distributing that 5. We're saying 5 times x gives us 5x. 5 times negative 1 gives us negative 5. So 5x minus 5 equals 15. Then we start undoing, and we add 5 to both sides, and we get 5x equals 20. Divide by 5 and get x equals 4. Okay? So that first step, though, that's rewriting the equation. So that's a little easier to solve. Next thing we can do is look inside. So choose a part of the equation that includes the variable and is grouped together by parentheses or another symbol. Make sure that this includes all occurrences of the variable, because you don't want to, look in here and say, oh, that equals x, but if you have another x out here, that's going to be problematic. Ask yourself, what must this part of the equation equal to make the equation true? And use that information to write and solve the new simpler equation. So for instance, if we looked at this equation and we said, okay, 5 times something has to equal 15. Now you might just know from your multiplication tables or math facts that 5 times 3 equals 15. So that means that whatever's in this parentheses has to equal 3. So I could say x minus 1 equals 3. Add 1 to both sides and get x equals 4. And I've solved the equation. Great. Last one we're going to talk about is the undoing. This is sort of the most traditional and a highly effective way of solving an equation. You start by undoing the last operation that was done to the variable. This will give you a simpler equation, which you can solve either by undoing again or with some other approach. Fraction busters are a method of undoing. With the fraction busters, you're multiplying to undo the division that the denominator represents. That's what we did in the last video. And like I said, we already watched that in the last video. So to undo this equation, 5 is the last thing that was done to the variable. First we had x minus 1. We take that and we multiply it by 5, and that gives us 15. So we're going to start by undoing the 5. So we divide both sides by 5. That gives us a big 1 here. Even though it doesn't look like a 1, big 1, like that. Okay, so then we have x minus 1 on the left, 15 minus 5 on the right. So x minus 1, 15 divided by 5 on the right, sorry. So we have x minus 1 equals 3. Add 1 to each side, we get x equals 4. So all three of these produced x equals 4, which is what we were looking for. And what we're trying to get to. All right. That is it, guys. Have a good day.